Welcome back to Inherited Dawn, a One Piece podcast. We are breaking down the Syrup Village arc, chapter by chapter, and today we have chapter 37, The Plan.
And what a plan it is. We thought we were just dealing with a retired pirate trying to steal an inheritance. We were wrong.
So wrong. This chapter throws a massive wrench into not just this arc, but the entire story we've seen so far. The level of meticulous, cold-blooded planning from Captain Kuro is on another level. This isn't Buggy trying to blow up a town or Alvida just being a bully. This is chess master-level villainy.
It recontextualizes a villain we thought we were already done with. It's a testament to how interconnected this world is, even this early on. Nothing is wasted, no character is a throwaway.
Absolutely. And you know what? That's what we're all about here, following the threads Oda is weaving. If you want to make sure you catch every single one of these connections Oda is laying down, do yourself a favor and get this podcast in your feed. That way you're right here with us every time a 3-year-old plan comes to light and blows our minds. You don't want to miss that.
Let's get into it. The chapter opens right where we left off, with Luffy facing down Kuro on that oily slope.
And it is not going well for our boy. Not at all. Luffy is throwing punches, gum pistol all over the place, but he's swinging at air. Kuro is just not there. He's moving with this eerie silence and speed that Luffy just can't track. It's like trying to punch smoke.
The art in these panels is masterful. Oda doesn't use a lot of speed lines initially. Kuro just vanishes from one panel and reappears in another. It conveys a sense of impossible, silent movement. It's not like fighting Alvida or Buggy, who had straightforward powers you could see and understand. Kuro's strength is pure, refined physical technique. He's a blur. It's the silence that gets me. It's his silent technique, the Pussyfoot maneuver. But there's nothing soft about it. He just disappears. Luffy is a brawler. He's used to an enemy standing there and trading blows. He can't hit what he can't see, and he can't even hear where Kuro is. And he's not just dodging, he's punishing. There's a panel where Luffy throws a punch, misses completely, and is overextended. Kuro doesn't just reappear behind him, he lands on Luffy's outstretched rubber arm, runs up it like it's a bridge, and just plants a kick right in Luffy's face, sends him flying.
The disrespect, using Luffy's own body against him like that, it shows the difference in their experience levels. Luffy is still raw power and instinct. Kuro is a seasoned, calculating assassin. He sees an opening and exploits it with perfect, ruthless efficiency.
While this is happening, the Black Cat pirates are cheering him on from the sidelines. Go, Captain Kuro, show him what you've got. They're his hype men.
And you'd think he'd love that, right? Most captains would. But Kuro just stops everything, dead cold, and tells them not to call him that. The look on his face? It's pure irritation. This isn't a performance for him. This isn't a glorious return. It's an annoying chore, and they're reminding him of a life he wants to forget. He genuinely hates that name and everything that comes with it.
That's the trigger. That single moment of annoyance is what sends us into the flashback to finally understand why. 3 years ago, on the deck of his ship.
And we see him there with his first mate, Django. And right away, the vibe is different. Kuro looks bored. He looks completely over it. And he just drops it on the whole crew. I'm done. He's had enough of being a pirate.
The crew is in shock. Django can't believe it. This is their legendary captain, the man who brought them fame and fortune, and he wants to give it all up. He even tells Django he can have the ship, be the next captain. He just wants out.
And you immediately see why. A lookout screams that a marine ship has been spotted, and Kuro's reaction isn't excitement or fear, it's just exhaustion. Utter, complete burnout. He sighs and says it's the 3rd time that week.
That's the part that clicked for me. He's not running because he's afraid of being caught. He's running because he's tired of the chase itself. The entire cycle of piracy. Raid, get bounty, fight marines, bounty goes up, more marines come. It's a feedback loop he finds tedious and predictable.
Exactly. Django points out the obvious. The more marines they beat, the more famous they get, the higher their bounty goes. That's the game. That's what being a big shot pirate is all about. And for Kuro, that's not a feature. It's a bug. He hates the fame. He wants a quiet life, free from the constant attention and the endless cycle of fighting.
It's such an inversion of the typical pirate dream. Most pirates, including Luffy, crave that recognition. It's a measure of their freedom and strength. It's proof that they can live by their own rules. For Kuro, his own reputation has become a prison. He's too well known to ever be left alone.
He's like a rock star who just wants to go to the grocery store without being mobbed, except the mob are Marines with cannons. So he unveils his grand plan. He's not just going to retire, he's not just going to disappear, he's going to die. Or at least the world is going to believe Captain Kuro is dead.
Django just laughs, thinking it's a joke. It sounds insane. How does a pirate captain with a 16 million berry bounty just die on his own terms? But Kuro is dead serious. He orders them to lower a small boat. He's going to face that entire marine warship by himself.
The whole crew thinks he's lost his mind. They're begging him not to go. But he just turns, fixes his glasses, and gives them that cold, dead-eyed stare. He's not asking for their permission. He's a man on a mission. The crew watches him go, this one man in a tiny boat rowing towards a massive warship. And then, silence.
This is another moment where Oda's storytelling is just superb. We don't see the fight. We stay on the pirate ship with the crew. They're waiting for the cannon fire, for the sounds of a battle, for something. But there's nothing. Not a sound. They think he must have been killed instantly, vaporized.
The dread on their faces is real. They think their legendary captain just committed suicide by marine. So they prepare their own cannons, ready to go down in a blaze of glory, ready to avenge him. But before they can fire, they decide to board the marine ship to see what happened, to recover the body if there is one.
And what they find is a slaughterhouse. It's one of the most chilling reveals in early One Piece. Every single marine is dead. Just bodies everywhere. The panels are dark, filled with shadows and the lifeless forms of sailors, and standing in the middle of it all, without a single scratch on him, is Kuro.
He's basically untouched. He's just casually adjusting his glasses like he just finished some light paperwork. This is the moment for me, man. This is where you see the gap between a captain and a monster. He didn't fight a crew. He exterminated them.
This is the moment the crew understands he isn't just their captain. He's a monster. He single-handedly and silently eliminated an entire marine crew. It clarifies his earlier exhaustion. It wasn't the difficulty of fighting marines that tired him. It was the tedium. They posed no challenge to him.
The sheer methodical terror of it. No grand battle, no explosions like something Don Krieg would do. Just quiet, efficient murder. He made a warship into a ghost ship in minutes. This is the true power of the Pussyfoot maneuver. It's not a dodging technique. It's an assassination technique.
And that's when he finds him, the one survivor, a marine, barely conscious, hiding amongst the bodies. Kuro walks over and in this chillingly casual way just steps on the man's jaw. You see the panel focus on his foot and they crack, sound effect. No hesitation, no malice. It's like stepping on a twig.
It's brutal, just absolutely ruthless. But the Marine, even with a shattered jaw, tries to talk back. He's still defiant. He's still a Marine. And that's what gets Kuro's attention. He wasn't looking for a victim. He was looking for a specific kind of survivor.
Kuro sees that flicker of resilience and a light bulb goes off in his head. This is the man he needs. This isn't just a loose end to be tied up. This is the pawn for the centerpiece of his plan. He has his patsy.
Because now he has a credible witness. He can't just have his own crew say he died. That's not believable. The Marines would never stop hunting him. He needs a Marine to report it. He needs the world government to sign off on his death certificate. He needs an official story.
So he brings the Marine back to his ship, and we see Django get to work. First, he hypnotizes one of their own crewmates who looks a bit like Kuro.
Poor guy. I wonder if he volunteered or if Kuro just pointed at him. Django's hypnosis is no joke. He swings that ring and convinces this pirate that he is the great Captain Kuro. He completely overwrites his personality. He's no longer himself. He's a caricature of the captain, ready to be handed over.
Then he turns to the Marine. This is the truly diabolical part. He doesn't just erase his memory, he replaces it. He hypnotizes him into believing that he, this brave Marine, just single-handedly defeated and captured the infamous Captain Kuro.
He's implanting a false memory of heroism. He's giving this broken man a story to tell, a story that will make him a hero, and more importantly, make Kuro a ghost. He's not just covering his tracks, he's building a monument to his own disappearance.
And as this Marine sails away with the fake Kuro, you see the dazed, triumphant look on his face, and then you see the crude metal plate bolted onto a shattered jaw, and the pieces click into place.
It's Morgan. It's Axe-Hand Morgan from Shell's Town, the first major Marine villain Luffy faced, the guy with the statue of himself, the Tyrant.
The Tyrant, who ruled that island, whose entire legend was built on him capturing Captain Kuro, was all a lie. It was a complete fabrication implanted in his mind by a pirate. He wasn't a hero, he was a puppet. Kuro didn't just escape the Marines, he created a Marine captain to cover his tracks.
Oda, you magnificent madman. My jaw was on the floor when I first read this. He didn't just connect this arc to the last one, he reached back and fundamentally changed the foundation of a character we thought we were done with. Morgan's entire identity, his pride, his tyranny, his obsession with his own name, it was all manufactured by the very pirate he thought he beat.
It also explains Morgan's psychology perfectly. It explains his obsession with his reputation and his violent reactions to anyone who questioned his authority. He wasn't just arrogant. Deep down, on some subconscious level, he was living a life built on a hypnotic suggestion. He had to believe he was a hero, because the alternative was nothing. He was just some guy who got his jaw broken on a boat and failed his entire crew.
And think about the ripple effect. Morgan's tyranny is what led to Zoro being captured. His son Helmeppo was a little monster because of his father's false glory. Kobe's first real act of defiance was standing up to this manufactured hero. The entire Shellstown arc, the meeting of Luffy and Zoro, was orchestrated in a way by Kuro's plan from 3 years ago. The long game storytelling is just unreal. This is what makes this series special. It's not just a series of disconnected adventures. Everything matters.
It also casts Kuro's plan in a new light. It's not just clever, it's profoundly cruel. He didn't just kill those other Marines, he destroyed Morgan's entire sense of self and rebuilt it for his own convenience, turning him into a monster just to cover his own escape. It's psychological warfare of the highest order.
Okay, so this whole flashback ends. My mind is still reeling. We're back in the present, on the slope. Kuro looks at Luffy, smug as can be, and asks if he finally understands what he wants. He spells it out. Peace, quiet, and wealth. And he's willing to build a mountain of bodies to get it.
He assumes Luffy will be intimidated. He's just laid out this incredibly complex, ruthless 3-year plan. He thinks that by revealing the scope of his intelligence and ruthlessness, he'll make Luffy back down. He's trying to win the fight psychologically.
Bad assumption. Kuro goes on the attack again, cat claws out, ready to finish this. But Luffy's not the same kid who was getting kicked in the face a few minutes ago. He's been thinking, he's been observing.
He's been adapting. He realizes he can't outspeed Kuro. He can't predict his movements, so he doesn't try to match Kuro's speed. He changes the problem.
Nope. He does something so simple, so practical, so Luffy. It's brilliant. As Kuro lunges for a killing blow, Luffy doesn't dodge. He grabs a big rock and shoves it right into the path of one of Kuro's cat claws. The blades get stuck deep in the stone.
Kuro is anchored. For the first time in this fight, his greatest asset, his speed, is neutralized. He can't move. He's trapped by his own weapon. It's a perfect visual metaphor. His own tool of murder has become his prison.
And Luffy just grabs the rock with both hands, this massive boulder with Kuro's claws stuck in it, and just turns. He uses the leverage and you hear this snap sound effect. He snaps the blades on that hand, just breaks his primary weapon into pieces.
It's such a perfect counter. It's not about a new power-up. It's not about a secret technique. It's about ingenuity. It's problem-solving in the middle of a life-or-death fight. Kuro, the master planner, couldn't conceive of such a crude, effective tactic.
That's Luffy. That is our captain right there. He just finds a way. He always finds a way. That was satisfying. Seeing the look on Kuro's face, pure shock, was just chef's kiss.
And then comes the speech. With Kuro disarmed and reeling, Luffy just looks at him and lays it all out. This is the thematic climax of the chapter.
He tells him flat out, you shouldn't have been a pirate. He just doesn't get it. Why would you go out on the sea, make a name for yourself, get a bounty, and then run from it? For Luffy, that's like training to be the best chef in the world and then deciding you hate food.
For Luffy, the name, the reputation, is the entire point. It's the proof of your strength and your will. It's the flag you fly to show the world who you are. The idea of erasing your own name is completely alien to him.
He just doesn't compute Kuro's mindset. And then he says it. He tells Kuro that his plan to fake his death, become a butler, and steal an inheritance to get a peaceful life is stupid, a dumb plan. And then he tells him his own plan.
A much simpler plan.
The best plan. He says he's going to find the world's greatest treasure and become the king of the pirates. And the look on his face when he says it, pure, unfiltered conviction. No doubt, no hesitation. It's not a wish, it's a statement of fact.
It's the ultimate contrast. Kuro, the master strategist with the 100-step plan to run away from his own name, to achieve peace through deception and murder, versus Luffy, the straightforward dreamer with a 1-step plan to make his name the greatest in the world, to achieve peace through ultimate freedom.
That's the heart of One Piece right there in a single panel. Two completely opposite ideologies clashing. Kuro wants to erase his legacy. Luffy wants to build one that will last forever. Kuro's dream is small, selfish, and requires the world to forget him. Luffy's dream is huge, all-encompassing, and requires the world to know his name.
It reframes the whole fight. It's not just about protecting Kaya or Syrup Village anymore. It's a battle for the very soul of what it means to be a pirate. Is it a title to be feared and then discarded, or a symbol of ultimate freedom to be proudly earned?
You said it. And Luffy is not about to let this fraud who spits on the pirate name win. Not a chance. The real fight starts now.
Before we get to what might happen next, Oda had a little note for us this week.
Oh yeah, the author's comment. I love these. What was it this time?
He mentioned getting a DVD player at a New Year's party. He wasn't too interested at first, but he finally hooked it up. His final verdict? Oh yeah, it's the age of DVD.
That's amazing. It's 1998. The future is now. Good for you, Oda. Glad you're enjoying the crisp 480p resolution and the unskippable FBI warnings. It's just funny to think about him writing this incredibly dark, intricate backstory for Kuro and Morgan, a story about psychological manipulation and the crushing weight of fame, and then taking a break to be like, you guys heard of these new movie discs? They're way better than VHS.
It's a nice little glimpse behind the curtain, a reminder of the real person creating this epic.
For sure. So, thinking about this chapter, let us know in the comments what you think is more terrifying. Kuro's silent, untraceable speed, or the cold, patient intelligence he used to craft that 3-year plan that rewrote a man's entire life. I gotta know what people think. For me, it's the plan. The speed is scary, but the mind that came up with that Morgan plot is on another level of terrifying.
That's a good question. So, predictions for Chapter 38. Where do we go from here?
Okay, I've got one. Luffy broke the claws on one hand, but Kuro still has the other. More importantly, he still has his speed. He's been humiliated and his plans are falling apart. I think Kuro is going to get desperate and unleash the full, terrifying version of his silent step technique. We've seen him move fast, but I think we're about to see the real, unrestrained version, and it's going to be a massacre. He's going to get so fast he can't control it, and he's going to start tearing through his own crew just to get to Luffy. His desperation will make him a danger to everyone on the battlefield.
I can see that. His composure is broken, so his technique will become wild. My first prediction is about Django. He's been out of the picture for a bit dealing with Zoro. With Luffy keeping Kuro busy, I think Django is going to make a final desperate move on Kaya. He knows the frontal assault has failed. I predict he's going to circle around the fighting, bypass Usopp and the kids entirely, and try to put her under hypnosis one last time to force her to sign the will. The plan is a failure, but he can still try to get the money.
Oh, that's dark. That feels exactly like something Django would do. I like it. For my second one, it's Usopp's time. He and his little pirate crew have been trying to hold the line with oil and caltrops, but that's not going to cut it anymore. The real fighters are there. I predict Usopp is going to have to face one of the main combatants directly, probably Bucci or Sham, who will be coming for Kaya after Django's attempt. And he's going to win. Not through brute force, but with a clever lie or a trick shot that saves Kaya at the last second. It'll be his first real pirate victory, a moment that proves he has what it takes.
Building on that, my second prediction is a bit more specific. I think we'll get a bit more insight into his reputation as a master planner. This flashback showed us his greatest plan, the one that let him die. But his fame implies there were many others. I think in a moment of supreme arrogance, as he's fighting Luffy, he's going to tell Luffy about another one of his infamous schemes to prove his intellectual superiority. He'll say something like, "Your brute force is nothing. I once toppled a kingdom with a single whispered rumor." But in explaining the plan, he will just reveal a weakness in his own thinking, a reliance on logic that Luffy can exploit.
Bro, that would be perfect. A villain monologue that actually becomes his downfall. And for my last one, this is a bit of a long shot, but it feels right. The fight is getting chaotic. Kuro is getting angrier and faster. I think Luffy is going to end this fight by using Kuro's own intelligence against him. He's going to do something unbelievably stupid and unpredictable, like maybe grabbing Kuro and using his own claws to climb the cliff face, or tying his own legs in a knot. That Kuro's logical brain can't process it. He'll freeze for a split second trying to calculate the odds, and that's when he'll be wide open for a final gum-gum bazooka. It'll be a victory of pure, unadulterated instinct over cold intellect.
That's a good question. So my final prediction concerns the aftermath. Assuming Luffy wins and the Black Cat pirates are defeated, I don't think the village is going to thank Usopp. I think the adults will only see the destruction and chaos. They'll continue to see him as a liar who brought trouble to their shores. His act of heroism won't be recognized by anyone except Kaya and his 3 little friends. And that bittersweet reality, saving everyone but being thanked by no one, will be what convinces him it's time to truly leave and set out to sea with Luffy. His journey can't start with him being a celebrated hero at home. It has to start with him being an outcast who has found his true place with a new crew.